Welcome to the Divine Style podcast, where the journey to self-love and spiritual awakening begins. I'm your host, Gerlinda Stella, a psychic medium, intuitive life coach, and guide on your path to self-discovery. Here we delve deep into the heart of what it means to truly know and love oneself. Welcome to the Divine Style. Today, I have a very special guest with me. I have Huenu Solsona. She is an Argentinian-born citizen of the world. She's created multiple companies. Huenu has an adventurous spirit and has seen her venture into a number of unique and wild life experiences. She graduated third overall in university, speaks 4 languages, and is an ex-helicopter pilot. That's pretty cool. Her priorities today are making a positive impact in the world, elevating human consciousness, and taking care of the environment. Orykl is her most driven passion at the moment, her project today, and she's fully committed to success. And I was really excited when I was able to get you on the podcast because Orykl is a channeling website. So for channelers.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm so excited to be here. As you said, Orykl is a platform for channelers. Now, channelers, it could be a new word for many people, maybe not. But essentially, a channeler is a person that is able to connect with entities, energies, and beings that we can't see. That doesn't necessarily mean they're not there. And they're able to connect with them and have these speak through them. So I know it sounds very woo-woo. When I first heard about it, I thought so. But there is a method and a science behind it as well. We are really surrounded by a lot of beings, a lot of energies, and we experience what we sense with our 5 senses, but there's a lot of things that exist that most of us can't sense, but we all really can. And some people are particularly good at that, and they've also, trained. So how they do that is they raise their vibration by meditating, by quieting the mind, by focusing on the heart center, and the energy that they connect with. Sometimes it's a specific being, sometimes it's just sort of an energy field or a consciousness is able to sort of lower theirs, and somewhere in the middle they lock, and it's really like a telepathic communication. You get 3 different kinds of channelers. The ones that we have on the platform mostly are what they call trance channelers, which means that the being speaks through them. So when you talk to the channeler himself or herself is not really there, their personality is put aside, and you're just talking directly with this being. That is a trance channeler. And then we also get conscious channelers that really are getting the information and they're just relaying it as they're getting it. It's a little bit different to psychics and mediums. People do get quite confused with that. A medium is a person that specifically connects with a deceased person. They're also very valuable. It's very exciting because you can speak to somebody that you love that has passed. And so it's a sort of the same system, except they will hear, sense, feel something, and they will tell you what they're experiencing. So-and-so is telling me this, so-and-so is showing me that. Whereas a channeler, they speak through them, right? And then a psychic is a person that they use the clair, so they can sense things. They just, either they just know, or they'll see something in their mind's eye. Sometimes even they might taste something, especially if they're on an illness or something like that. And they will sort of tell you, they will also sense some things that might happen. So those are the 3 main ones, psychics, mediums, and channelers. And the overarching sort of, well, everyone is a psychic because they have a 6th sense. We're actually all psychic, but you obviously, again, have to practice, and some people are just naturally more gifted than others. So everyone is psychic, but the channelers specific are connecting with another entity and have these speak through them. So again, it's really out there. I mean, really, when I first heard about it, I don't know if I believed it straight away, but obviously I've been doing a lot of research since then, and clearly I do. And I've had a lot of experience with them. Yeah.
One of the things that I thought was really interesting on the website was the different beings that your channelers bring through. Can you tell me
Yeah.
a little bit about that? Because I found that, yeah, absolutely amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think if you think about Earth and you think about all the animals that we have and all the plants that we have, I mean, there's millions and millions, right? In the spirit world, the way I see it is that there's also so many other beings. So there isn't just one thing. There's just so much. And but there are kind of compartmentalized into some sort of sections, I would say. So some of them are angelic beings, and that could be your guiding angel, the archangels, Archangel Michael, Archangel Uriel. A lot of people have heard about these archangels. And then your spirit guides. We all have spirit guides that are here to help us on our life's journey. So that's kind of one, section. The other one is extra dimensional beings. And the correct word is actually extra dimensional because they're not in this dimension, but you could call them extraterrestrials or you could call them aliens. Now, again, when I first heard about this, trust me, I was like, what? No ways. Turns out that we are living in this dimension, this reality, but there's many different realities and many different dimensions. And extra dimensional beings come from higher dimensions, and they can sometimes become physical. Okay, so they densify down. And this is a very big topic, and obviously I'm very much summarizing it. But the way they're making contact with human beings is more in our dream state, in when we also meditate, and we can once again raise our vibration. But sometimes it's specific beings, and many people may have heard of Bashar, who is from the Sasani race, and he's channeled by Daryl Anka. He's probably one of the most famous channelers, and that is one particular being who, you can really ask him about his life. He lives in a UFO just above Earth. But also there's groups of them. So the Pleiadians are very involved on Earth right now. They usually come as a group. There's the Andromedans, the Arcturians, there is Blue Avians. I mean, there's actually quite a vast array of extra-dimensional beings, and some of them come as a collective. So it's not just one, but like a collective. It could be a group of them, it could be 5, 7, or thousands that come together. Then there you have the elementals. And again, I know as I speak, because sometimes I always think I'm speaking to somebody that has never heard of this, and I understand how this can sound quite strange, but look into it. But the elementals are things like fairies and gnomes and all of these things that come from this fantasy world. You got to wonder, where do they come from, and how come they keep coming up in all these different movies throughout the years and the ages? So they do exist. They're not physical again, but they live in the elemental world. There's also nature spirits, so plant spirits, the energy of Gaia. And the way you can think about this is that we each have our own unique vibration. You and I and everybody has a unique vibration, and everything around us has a unique vibration. And collectively, we have a unique vibration, like humanity, like Gaia. And it's just about learning how to vibrate at that level and how to tune into that vibration. And really, you can just know everything from not necessarily always like that, but that's how kind of more or less a way of explaining this. These are very difficult concepts. And so on our website, sure, we have, the other one is the Ascended Masters. So there's people that lived here on Earth that were, again, very high vibrating beings. So those are, Jesus, Mother Mary. I mean, there's a whole list of them. And I think we have some channelers that channel Jesus, and it's really fascinating. Hey, I mean, if you have a session with Christine, you can ask very specific questions about Jesus's life. I mean, because I've had so many channeling sessions and I've asked all my personal questions, I now ask about them. Tell me about you. Tell me about this and that. I've asked a lot of questions about Jesus and about what happened, when he was alive. Fascinating, absolutely fascinating. And so we've got her, we've got somebody. Okay, so we've got a lot of people that also channel sort of source energy. Remember, we are all one, right? Ultimately, we're all one. We're having this physical experience in which we experience our separate if that's a word. So we see ourselves as a unique individual, separate to others, but we really are all one consciousness. We are all one. And this is how we can also link and, tap into those energies. So a lot of the channelers just channel source energy, all that is. So we have a few of those, a bunch of them that do archangels, and many of them that can actually tap into anything, depending on what the client wants and needs. So yeah, it's vast.
Vast. Isn't that vast? It is beautiful. And I actually haven't heard of instead of extraterrestrial saying extra dimensional. I think that's
Dimensionals.
really cool. It's a really cool way of
Yes.
putting it. And for myself, I definitely have had those experiences with different beings and different like the way that they speak or interact has been really phenomenal. And some of the information that they bring through, it's just been really life transforming for me. What about
Yes.
yourself and your own experiences in terms of your channeling experience?
Yeah. So, I first heard about channeling maybe about 8 years ago through a friend that I trust very much who told me about Bashar. And he said, this guy channels an alien. I said, come on, what are you talking about? And he said, no, please check it out. Anyway, I checked it out. I started listening to Bashar. Fascinating information, really, yeah, quite life-changing in some ways, very hopeful, very empowering, very inspiring. And I had been listening to him for quite a while, and I do a lot of meditation. I've been on a spiritual journey for many, many years. And in my meditations, I just somehow started doing some automatic writing. So I type quite fast on my laptop, and I tend to stay up late as well at night, and I do my meditation at night. And so I one day kind of had the urge to just type, and there I was with my eyes closed. And yeah, quite frankly, like the fingers just start moving and writing. And by that stage, I knew quite a bit about channeling. So I just let myself go with the flow. And I did this for quite a few years, like quite often, not every night, but, every, twice a week or something like that. And I would, if I didn't feel because sometimes you get a thought in your head and you think, okay, it's me. And so then I wouldn't type anything until eventually they would say, no, type it, just type it. I'm like, okay, this is not me, that's fine. So then I would start typing and with my eyes closed, and I would let things, I still do, let things come through. Sometimes what I'm doing now is I really don't know what the next word is going to be. And part of me thinks, oh, this is going to come out totally wrong because I don't even know what I'm writing. But I just go, no, just let it, because who cares? You can read it later. And if it doesn't make sense, you can just throw it away. And the more I let go, the more I just let go and take your head out of the way, the better the message. And then I read it and I'm like, wow, this is really good stuff. So that's been my journey. I'm still doing it. And then now what I do is I usually pose like an issue that I'm having, like a problem, or not like an obstacle or something that I want to do. And I go, okay, I would like to get an answer to this, or I need to come up with an idea, or I want to get inspired about this and that. And I just do the same thing. I meditate. I always make sure that I am really out of the way, that my mind's out of the way. And sometimes I can't do that because I've got a lot of things going on in my personal life. And I just, that thought that I've had the whole day keeps coming in and it doesn't allow me to just be calm. But when I'm having a great day and everything's great and I'm meditating at night, that's when it comes easier. And yeah, again, I just open my laptop. I sit there until I get this urge to type. And I type and amazing stuff comes through. And a lot of it ends up on my platform because there are ideas that I've just had that have come from somewhere.
That is so cool. Is there one that stands out? Is there a memory for you for that really sticks in your mind from that automatic writing? Like, is there something that you could share with us?
Yeah, I have a lot, but I would say the main one is the whole platform itself. So this happened about to get this right, I always wonder. It was about 5 years ago. Yeah, something like that. It was 5 years ago. I was again sitting in meditation. I'd been listening to Bashar, same as I just said. And there I was, and I got this idea to do this platform. And it just I was literally sitting like this on my bed, like this. And yeah, this whole idea came. I opened my laptop, started typing. The name came to me, the logo, what you see, that shiny O was also like turning and, came towards me. The whole idea. So I was just typing away. And it was funny because I had another business at the time. I live in Cape Town, South Africa. I had an outdoor cinema. And I knew I wanted to sell it because I've been doing it for quite a few years. And I had put out the intention to do a business that helped the world. I really wanted to have a global impact. I wanted to help lots of people, like thousands, millions if I could. But I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew I had done quite a few businesses by that stage. So, of course, you can always make more money, but then that doesn't become your motivation anymore, right? My motivation was like really to make a difference in the world. And so I said, this is what I want to do. My next business, I really want to make an impact in the world. I love animals. And I thought, how can I help animals? So then I was thinking, oh, maybe like, if I have an animal shelter, that doesn't really do much, it's a few hundred animals. What's that going to do? And now with this business, I realized that obviously I need to help people that are going to help animals, because animals are not going to help themselves. Unfortunately, we have to help, people have to do that. But yeah, so I'd really put out the intention. I still had to sell my company, so it was still a while. And yeah, but I was in the process of thinking, something will come up, and there you go. So this particular download, if you want to call it, or channeling, was the biggest in my life, because it's led to doing this business, which is really, I think, my life's purpose.
So you channeled the channeling business. I love this.
Yes.
How
Yeah.
have you found the responses have been to the channelers that you have on the website? Because, like you said, that you love getting that client feedback and that customer feedback. What have people said about their experiences through these sessions?
Yeah, well, amazing. I mean, amazing. It affects people in different ways. To some people, it's like, oh wow, that's new information. Like, some people are quite shocked sometimes, especially the people that are not so into channeling or even to their spiritual journey, they're more beginners. And then to others, it's very it's really solves some of people's problems. Obviously a lot of people come with issues, and sometimes big issues or loss, or, they're really suffering or they're in pain, and it can have massive, massive, profound effects. So yeah, for the most part is on the pretty amazing scale. And then to other people, it was really good, so we got from good to like life-changing. But most people walk away with like, wow, that was, and it's very empowering, because look, at the end of the day, we want to empower people. It's not about, hey, keep coming back to the website, keep having, and let us tell you, something. We can tell you, and we do, but we want people to know that they actually have it all inside of them. And we show them how they can tap into that, how they can tap into the knowledge, because all the answers that you want are actually inside of you. And this is what's so great about channeling, because when you have a channeling session, it will ring true to you, because inside you, and so they just help you find the answer for you. And they empower you that way. And they show you how to work with that and how to tap more into your inner knowing and inner guidance. But sometimes people do need some help. And again, to others, it comes easier than somebody else. And it's nice to have that support and to know that you are so, so supported from a spiritual point of view. You really have truly these spiritual beings just dying to help you, and you can tap into them. You can tap into your higher self. You can tap into your angels, into your spirit guides, into all these beautiful, wonderful beings that are so eager to help. And so it's a beautiful feeling. People feel very loved, very held, very, some people get seen. Some people like just are not seen in their day-to-day lives, and they really get seen for who they are. And even that is just such a gift to some people. So it's really a wonderful experience. If you've never done a channeling session, I mean, I highly recommend that you try it and that you have that experience, because it's also quite unique. I don't think you can get this kind of feeling or information in too many other places. So, I mean, it's super rewarding for me and for the channelers. We love what we do, and we are really united in our mission to help people. And it's sort of easy to get people on board on Orykl because we are, if your mission is the same as ours, and to help people this way. So yeah, I love what I do. This is my best business I've had to date.
Very cool. One of the things that you did mention about that we all do have the answers within us, and it is maybe that we just need that little help in finding it. I've just recently done a podcast with a lady that did a book called The Ethical Psychic, and that sort of taps in exactly what this is really about, right? That the ethics behind it, and the sense that this is showing you that you have the answers, but also helping guiding you there to them. I think that's really important to note. And you might not, just like what you said, you might only need one session. It doesn't mean that you have to keep coming back and coming back. Some people do have life-changing experiences from just one session.
A lot of energetic healing that happens as well, because remember, these are high vibrating beings, and when you are in the session, they can and sometimes do work on your energy, and often they will ask you for permission if they can do some energy clearing and healing. Not all the channels do that, some do. And with your permission, they'll work on you. I've had archangels working on me, and they can just remove certain blockages in your body, energetic blockages, align your chakras. So that's also another side it's pretty powerful. So even if you just sit there and, don't ask anything, even if you don't know what to ask, you can always say, what is in my best interest to know? And, information will always come through. So yeah,
This
just
is a
wanted to
really
add
good
that.
point. How would you suggest people find the right channeler for them? Because obviously, if you've got a lot of people on the platform, do you think it should be an intuitive thing, or do you think they should sort of look at the profile? How do you suggest people decide on the right channeler?
Yeah, that's a great question. So firstly, I think it's important that people know that everyone on Orykl has been vetted and has gone through a whole process to be on the platform. So everyone on the platform is actually amazing. So you can't go wrong. And everyone's been vetted by me. I've had a channeling session with all of them. We look at their online content quite a lot. We have meetings with them. And also, to be honest with you, at this stage, I'm pretty good at discerning. And not everyone makes it. Please know that this isn't a thing of like, just get as many channelers as you can on the platform at all whatsoever. Because for me, the most important thing is that people have a good experience, that it's the real deal. If it isn't, and the word starts getting around that, oh no, it wasn't, then that doesn't do me any favors. So I'm not interested in quantity, I'm interested in quality, and I have pretty high standards. And that's how it is. So everyone is great. Knowing that, then I would say that the best way is your intuition. I mean, I would say have a look. You can look at the videos, but there'll be some that you just don't gel with. So just that's fine. And then there'll be some that like you really do. And maybe there's one that you love, and that's great. Then I would say just go for that one. And if you're not sure, then you can dig a little deeper, have a look at their videos a bit more, read their stories. We're getting more and more info. We're getting a couple more videos under each one, but some of them have a video about themselves and also them channeling, because it does change a little bit, when they channel. Some change a little bit, some change a lot. For example, we have a channeler who stutters when he speaks, but when he's channeling, zero stutter. It's like a free flow of information. So it's quite different. Others sort of change their voice. They might speak a little bit faster, a little bit slower. So we're trying to get videos of everybody channeling so you can have an idea of what they sound like. But, a channeler told me the other day, and I think it's so true, that there's three reasons that you might choose a channeler. One, you like the way they channel. So you've seen them channeling, and you like the beings that come through, the energy that comes through. The other one is just that gut instinct. Oh, I just like this person for like, I don't really know why, but I just like them. And the other one is their story, because everybody has a story. Maybe somebody relates to me because they're my age, and maybe whatever, maybe they're business people and they can just relate to my story. And so we're trying to get those three pieces. Well, the first one, the gut feel is obviously there, but we want to get them channeling and also their story on the platform as well. But yeah, just I would say that the best one is just the one that feels the best for you.
That's
Yeah.
really cool. I think it would be amazing if we could get one of your channelers on here to show us and to
Sure.
teach us maybe some of the things that those beings would love to share. I think that would be a
Yeah, and they can do a channel. I'm sure we can, and they could channel, and you could have a couple of questions lined up. I mean, we do two live channeling sessions on our social media. On the first Sunday of the month, we do it on Facebook. I think for you guys in Australia, it's really early in the morning. You guys, shame, you always, but you can check that out. It's at 2 p.m. New York time. And then on Instagram on the third Sunday of the month at 2 p.m. New York time, whatever that works out for you, if you want to go and have a sense of what this is like.
That's really cool. And so I can put some links into the Instagram so people can jump on and have a look at that. And obviously the Orykl website, which is spelt a little bit differently.
So it's spelled Orykl, but yeah, pronounced Orykl.
Thank you so much for your time today. Is there anything before we finish up that you would like to share?
In the next couple of months, going to be launching some courses for people to learn how to channel. And this doesn't necessarily mean channeling another being. First, we teach you how to tap into your intuition, how to really listen to yourself. You've got the answers, as I said. So that is the first thing. And then you can progress into learning how to channel other beings. It is pretty fascinating when you can channel other beings, especially if you can channel an extra dimensional being, because you can really find out about their lives. There's actually a guy that channels. He's not on our platform because he only does large groups, so he might come on later. He channels a woman 700 years in our future, so she's a human being. And because remember, there's no time, everything's happening at the same time. So I've asked him amazing questions about what our life is going to be like, and it all checks out in my books. So it's pretty interesting to learn how to channel yourself. We'll be doing some courses. We are creating a lot. Our platform's quite new. We only launched in November, so there's a lot coming. But I would say go and check it out. Have a channeling session, especially if you're going through something hard in your life. And what's great about it too is that sometimes the issues that people are going through come from when they were really, really young or from another lifetimes. And this is one of the very few things that can tap into other lifetimes and see, because we do carry some of those scars sometimes, or from when we were so young that no therapy can really get to it. So this is like one of the best therapy sessions that you could ever have with, in a way that's perhaps no other therapy session could deliver, because it can't tap into everything that is you. This is tapping into your soul, your essence, who you really are as a spiritual being, not just this lifetime. And it can be so healing and so therapeutic. So yeah, and we do have 2 channelers in Australia, by the way, on our platform, Yolanda Tong and Zio Shihan, and they are fantastic channelers. I mean, yeah, any of those guys, you do well to have a session with.
Thank you so much for your time. I'm so excited. Thank you for bringing this to the world. It's very cool, and I'm sure it's going to benefit a lot of people. So thank you.
And thank you. And thank you for doing the work that you do, which is also so valuable. I really appreciate it.
As we end today's episode of the Divine Style podcast, I extend my deepest gratitude for your presence and openness on this journey of self-love, self-discovery, and spiritual growth. Farewell for now, and may your journey inward bring you the self-love you seek.